I don't drink soda.
The Natural Habitat Podcast.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Mikey Booyah.
My name is Mikey and Ty, and joining us as always is our third wheel computer.
Mhm.
Computer, say hello. Computer, say hello.
Hi.
He is the only artificially intelligent co-host on a podcast. We also have Free Candy all the way in Canada, up there in the Great North, across the pond.
Nope, that's England. It's
Yeah,
England, yep.
the Great North, is that what it's called?
Great White North.
What do we call it?
We just call it Canada, and we make fun of it.
Yeah, what do we call it behind their backs when like nobody's looking?
I don't think that there's like a derogatory name for Canada. Just more like stereotypes, and we kind of make fun of like the nuances in their accent and that sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
How nice they are.
how they pronounce words differently.
Yeah. So we'll just call it the Great North, I guess. That sounds right.
Sounds reasonable.
Computer, what's another name for Canada?
Canada is also known as Canada.
Brilliant, computer.
Oh man. So the four of us, much like the four pillars of the Natural Habitat Podcast, you got friendship, you got science, you got revenge,
You got intellectual property.
intellectual property, and we are going to lean on pillar number 2 today with science because we're talking about dreaming. Now, first, before we get into that, I want to let you guys know that we're doing a full merch drop
Ooh,
very soon.
you're wearing some of that merch, huh? Can
I am,
the
yeah.
camera see you? Should you make yourself more visible there? You got a nice pullover sweatshirt with the new logo. It's very fly.
This is our new logo that you've been seeing everywhere. We're donning a name to this guy's name is Head Trip.
Head trip. I like that.
The Head Trip logo.
Fitting. It's a head. And I mean, it's kind of like a trippy looking head. So
Yeah,
I mean, it just
trippy
works.
looking head.
It's like a dripping,
And then we got, the earth in there. So there's like a trip around
Right,
the earth.
yeah.
There's this whole like location thing.
That's true.
And so it has a bad double meaning, but a double meaning nonetheless.
So like would that be a double entendre, or is that something different?
It's like a double euphemism.
Okay.
They're both like code for sex,
Right,
head
right.
trip.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a whole line of Head Trip. We got shirts. All right. We got hats, beanies. We have a NHP shirt that has our classic font.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if the viewer hates Head Trip? They do not like that.
If you don't
logo.
want Head Trip,
they don't want Head Trip on any of their clothing.
That's fine.
Are we gonna have something for those people?
We have a shirt
I mean,
that just says NHP. That is a conversation starter. If you've ever wanted people to ask you, what does NHP mean? What's NHP? This will happen multiple times a day if you wear this shirt. And then you could explain to them that it's a podcast.
or you could say it's if you don't want to talk about the podcast, you could be like, it's New Hampshire, Providence.
Yeah, New Hampshire, Providence,
Is
Rhode
Providence?
Island.
No, that's Rhode Island.
But it's like from New Hampshire to Providence.
I mean, the same general vicinity.
that highway, that like stretch.
I mean, they're these little tiny states all clumped together. It might as well be.
And people are into highways, man. Like I know that Bill, co-host of the show, fifth pillar of the show, he has a tattoo of Highway 58 because he grew up near it or something. It was like the closest
No, is it
highway to
like
his
a
house.
sign, or is it an
it's a
actual
tattered-
highway?
It's a tattered highway sign done by Roach Clip, and it has like bullet holes in it and
Okay.
chunks all rusted out. And it says 58, and he's just really into a highway.
He's into that highway.
He's into
No, what
highway.
about byways? Because haven't you heard that expression, the highways and byways?
Highways and byways.
What is a computer? What is a byway?
Computer, what is a byway?
The noun, byway, can have a couple meanings. 1. A secluded, private, or obscure road. 2. A subsidiary or obscure field of research, endeavor, etc.
Okay, so it sounded like the opposite of a highway. Like a highway is, it's not secluded at all. That's where everybody's driving. The byways, maybe that's like the frontage road.
That's private.
The road less
Yeah.
traveled.
Yeah. And also is kind of like a little bougie, the way that computer made it sound, that it's private, invite only, So byways, he loves highways. He obviously loves byways. Who doesn't? Now, triways aren't a thing, right? Treyway? I'm thinking of Treyway.
Treyway, that's the gang from Tekashi 6ix9ine.
That's right. Tekashi 6ix9ine weird to bring that up, but I did see an interview with him recently. Did you see the interview that he did?
No, I don't keep up with him much.
Me neither. I just saw like a clip that someone had posted and shared, and he brought up Gunna because apparently Gunna like snitched on
now.
some
Who is
guy.
this Gunna fellow?
He's like I want to say he's a drill rapper.
He's a rap artist. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not like an actual gunner.
No.
Like an army gunner.
But he
I think
might
that's a
be.
position in the army.
He might be because allegedly there's like this whole murder that happened. I don't know about it. I don't get into like the drill Fantano.
It just sounds like noise to me.
Well, not drill music. Also drill music I don't really get into.
Like drill music just sounds like literally like a drill to me.
But I do know that
Like
from
the sound of a drill. Like that's what it's. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
same
the
thing.
Same thing.
All right. I know that disgraced journalist Andrew Callahan, he was going on this whole thing about drill music and went and interviewed like a bunch of people in Chicago where drill started.
Yeah,
And
with Chief Keef, I know that much.
Called out Adam 22 for glorifying this life.
Yeah, for perpetuating these violent acts
Mm-hmm.
that these drill rappers are doing.
Yeah, bringing to light these beefs that should really just stay within a few people. Now the whole world knows.
Yeah, these stories shouldn't be leaving the O Block.
Yeah.
They should be staying there.
Yeah. So, I don't really know. Besides that, I don't really know a lot about it, but I do know that. Why did we start talking about? Oh yeah, Gunna.
Yeah. So I actually do know a bit about this. The record label YSL, which is Young Thug's record label,
Okay.
got hit with the RICO Act, which is like that's the law that basically lets the feds prosecute people that are affiliated with this crime, not just the person that carried it out.
It's all about crime and like gang affiliation.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
RICO
and
Act,
apparently
right?
there was a murder and a number of other crimes, committed by YSL affiliates, and they used the RICO Act to charge everybody affiliated with I think it's Young Slime
Okay.
Life, maybe.
And this is the thing about them using their lyrics in court,
Yes,
reading transcripts
which
of
is
their lyrics.
not legal everywhere, but apparently is legal in Georgia where this is taking place. But Gunna he's a YSL rapper, and he was initially locked up under this RICO takedown also, but supposedly he pled out, which is essentially admitting a wrongdoing, which is very much frowned upon because he's basically admitting the allegations are true, so he's effectively snitching on the rest of the co-defendants, which is a no-no in hip-hop, at least previously had been.
Yeah.
I mean, 6ix9ine, he was shunned by the hip-hop
exactly.
world for doing essentially the same thing.
And that was his point. He brought up the situation without using any names. He was like, say if your cousin was being, charged with a crime, and you said it wasn't my cousin, it was this guy that did it. Like what is that? And they all agreed.
6ix9ine's gang had betrayed him. So like honestly, like I think the 6ix9ine snitching or pleading or whatever it was more understandable than Gunna doing it, who is supposedly closely knit with these fellows.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what he was saying was that, there's these rules in the gang life, like no snitching, respect, loyalty, don't fuck over your friend, don't rob your brother. Yeah,
it's
and
basically
shit.
like the Cosa Nostra laws that we all learned
Yeah.
in like, the mobster movies.
And then he was like, so when I got, robbed by my friends and they were fucking my girl and disrespecting me and talking shit, then, I break the one rule of snitching. And everybody's like, now I'm the only one that's in trouble, but I'm supposed to be loyal to these guys that like treated me like shit.
Yep.
And then he said, if you said my cousin didn't do it, it was this guy, would you be snitching? Everybody said, yeah. And he was like, well, then why is nobody mad at Gunna? Because that's exactly what he did.
I think people are, like, as more information comes out, from what I understand, is people are beginning to be like, hey, wait a second. This is a little more snitchy than we originally had thought when you were released. So it's interesting. He's got a lot of his affiliates unfollowing him on Instagram, and a lot of other rappers unfollowing him. And so, I mean, it remains to see what becomes of his music career now that he's been accused of this snitching.
We'll see. But the NHP shirt is available, and then also we are going to have the first of a continuing line of like all these different theme shirts. First one is the Habit Wrap Pizza shirt. Now
we won't be actually like selling pizza, right? Like we're not opening a pizza franchise or anything like that.
Not yet, but I mean, Mr. Beast.
It seems like a logical next step once we reach the because we're still on the road to 1K. We got to focus on that. But once we hit 1K, I figure that AdSense money is just going to start raining in.
Yeah, and the world's our oyster.
We're going to have to reinvest it in something. It may as well be a pizza place, a pizza parlor.
So we are going to put out these shirts, the Habit Wrap Pizza shirt, and pizza employees are usually, looked at as like cooler people. They can always hook you up with drugs. The pizza guy can get you drugs. The pizza guy's getting laid. The pizza girl is, taken seriously in the workplace.
Now, you were involved in the pizza industry for some period of time.
I was, and
you would know this firsthand.
And this is really like a shout out to my roots,
Oh, okay, I get that.
Because there is a certain type of clout that comes with working at a pizza restaurant.
A certain level of esteem, for sure.
Yeah, you have a laid back attitude. You know how to fuck. And you usually do or kind sell drugs.
Just like a Fonzie type vibe, like a modern day Fonzie. Like I don't think Fonzie delivered pizza on Happy Days, but he had that demeanor to him.
And this is, I think, why pizza guys are desirable. Is that they have a car. They have a working car.
That's
guaranteed.
true. A lot of other people don't have cars.
Yeah. You have to worry about giving this guy a ride all the time.
Yeah. Nobody wants to mess with a bus rider.
Yeah. I'm taking a bus. Could you imagine?
Or an Uber user who
Could you
uses
imagine
Ubers?
Eating someone's ass after they rode the bus?
A bicyclist, that's like the gayest, the most effeminate thing I can think of is somebody riding a bicycle for leisure.
Yeah.
Or to get to point A to point B. That seems just illogical.
And the mess after that.
It takes so much longer than driving in a car. I mean, like, what do you want to waste? You just want to waste your time? You got that much time to waste?
Yeah.
You got that much time to waste. You obviously don't have a lot going on in your life.
I remember when I was a kid, I would skateboard until I hurt myself really bad one time. Not like really, really bad. Elbow. I was going down a hill. I got the speed wobbles.
Oh, yep. You hit one of those little chalk rocks.
Yeah.
Chalk rocks will shoot you right off your board.
There was blood everywhere. And then I decided not to skateboard anymore and to ride a bike, because a bike you can like jump off of, So I had like this cool bike that was all pieced together of like different things and different stolen bikes that me and Mo would go steal. And then
now a statute of limitations has passed on this theft, right? So you're in the clear there?
I'm sure.
Okay.
That we would allegedly go and steal. Steal is like a funny term, which means that we would buy them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we'd go and buy these bikes and then bring them back to his house and like take them apart and spray paint them and put them back together all mishmash and different. And all the while doing meth. We were all on mad meth and we were like teenagers. So
that seems like it checks out with the stereotype that I know of people who use meth.
And his dad would work out of town and he did like construction and shit. So he had this whole shop at their house that was just filled with power tools and supplies.
So you're tricking these bikes
things
out. You've got the whole West Coast Customs garage.
I think the farthest we did was we would wrap it with like electrical tape and then paint it and then take the tape off. So we didn't like utilize any of those tools or any of those cool things that we could have. But that's probably best because we would have hurt ourselves for sure.
True.
So I remember I had this bike that was like pretty lit. And then I got a car and I was like, well, I still have my bike, so I can like ride it down to the store, or I could, ride it down to the
Never
park.
touched it again, did you?
Never again. Why the fuck would I? Why would I ever do that? I have a car.
Pointless.
Why would I
Completely
ever
pointless.
ride a bike? That's insane. So,
new merch, yeah.
Yeah, so the Habit Rat pizza shirt, it's going to get you clout. You could just pretend you work at a pizza place. It's pretty low profile. It's got a phone number, so if people want to order pizza, then call the hotline.
Now, does it have the hotline number?
It does have the hotline number
that's
on
fresh.
And this is dope. I made the design myself. I'm really proud of it, and I hope that you guys like it. So the merch drop is going to be coming really soon, maybe even by the time this comes out.
Yeah, we could put the link in the description if it's out.
Link in bio.
Link down,
baby.
Down below, baby.
So, you had texted me this morning and you said that you have just been having crazy dreams since you quit smoking weed.
Yeah, just about every night. And I never used to dream before. At least it seemed like I would never dream before. Maybe I just wasn't remembering them.
I heard that weed takes your dreams.
I think it was robbing me of my dreams. And you know what? I'm glad that I've gotten them back because, I mean, I'm not having nightmares for the most part. Sometimes there's a bit of a plot twist or some sort of thing that I have to overcome in these dreams, some sort of obstacle. Yeah. But for the most part, they're pleasant. They're like, they're combinations of people I've known, places I've been, things that I've done, but all just kind of randomized and obscured.
Yeah.
But I'm going to concerts. I'm having road trips, vacationing places, things that I don't really get to do so much these days myself in reality.
Yeah. So, hanging out with your friends.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, like so far these dreams have been relatively pleasant. So I was telling you that. And I think, quitting smoking weed was a small price to pay for reclaiming my dreams.
Yeah, that's one of the main things that I hear about people that smoke really heavy and then quit smoking is that they have way more dreams, and then when they try to smoke weed, they freak out.
And that checks out too. Yeah. Or they pass out and their friend calls 911 because they're like fidgeting.
I mean, you smoked weed for the first time in a long time, and then that's what happened.
That's what happened, and I haven't touched the stuff again since.
And I've heard that before, that fucking people would have like panic attacks and freak out and get all paranoid and shit.
It's all bad. You gotta build that tolerance up real early when you're young, in your teens,
and keep it up.
Peer pressure, forces you to build that tolerance up.
Yeah,
and then you gotta maintain it. Otherwise, you're gonna come back to it with a clean system, and it's not gonna be what you remember it.
Yeah, it's scary. I hear.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
So, for now, I have no plans on quitting because, I'm afraid that, like, even if I were just to decide to, like, take a break for a while to, like, see if it helped with, like, my laziness or motivation or whatever, I'm afraid that I wouldn't be able to start smoking again.
Yeah, see, I don't even really remember why I wanted to quit smoking weed other than
to just see if you could.
See if I could, yeah. And then I went back to it and it was like not enjoyable whatsoever anymore. So I just kind of stuck with the not smoking.
It ain't the same.
It's not.
What was that song?
Dream, 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 dream.
That's right.
Dream.
That's right. So
when I want you,
hey,
gee
you can't
whiz.
Sing that much of it.
Oh, gee whiz.
Oh, is that the Gee Whiz remix?
The Gee Whiz. Yeah.
All right, good. Ty came up with a great rap name, Gee Whiz, and it turns out it's taken by multiple people.
Every
already.
good name ever has been taken.
Yeah. So, Gee Whiz, right? But I think that we could still use it because it's only really used in the rap realm, so we could still say it. We could still call things it.
Yeah, we've been working on some scripts that we're gonna clue you in on later. Maybe there's a character in one of these scripts named Gee Whiz. Yeah,
I like that. And he's just like a gangster, like white guy that like wears do-rags and stuff.
I could see that. Yeah, or maybe we don't have to pigeonhole him in as a white guy. He can be any, he could be an Indian fellow for all.
Yeah, true.
But
like, what was that movie? Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah. There was an Indian fellow.
There was an Indian gangster guy. So these dreams, right, that you've been having more and more of, I have very little dreams because I still smoke weed, and when I do have dreams, they're usually more on the nightmare side.
Yeah, you were telling me like you have night terrors.
Yeah, I have night terrors.
I don't think that I've ever, even as a child, I don't remember specifically ever having these horrible nightmares where the boogeyman's coming to get me or whatever it may be. Yeah. I think my dreaming has always been like weird. There's some weird ones, and like I said, there's obstacles and antagonists in my dreams sometimes, but I've never really had like a that I can recall a scary nightmare or anything like that where I wake up just like, oh my God.
See, I
probably have.
I had one when I was a kid of these like pirate ghosts that were chasing me on my big wheel. So I was on my big
terrifying.
wheel. I was riding around the apartment complex, and they were also on big wheels, on like ghosts.
These pirates had their own big wheels.
They were pirate ghosts, and they were cartoon, I guess, and riding on their little pirate big wheels. And that one stuck with me my whole life for whatever reason.
Maybe you're just misinterpreting that as being like nightmarish to where like
maybe I was a pirate too.
Yeah, maybe in reality you were just mobbing with some pirate friends on this big wheel.
Yeah.
And it was, if in retrospect, it was a positive dream.
I didn't see myself, so maybe I was a pirate ghost.
I mean, unless you were like ripped apart by these pirates at any point or like had some sort of like violent incident with them, they may have been on your side.
Yeah, you're right. But I do have it's not that I always have like bad dreams or nightmares or night terrors, because I do have like cool, like fun, awesome dreams that are like I could fly.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Or it's some like cool sexual experience that I never would have in real life.
Yep, those are good ones.
And one thing, see, I never wake up and have like a sleep paralysis or like halfway into dream world, halfway out. But from living with Raven and working opposite schedules, she's awake when I'm asleep on the nights that she's off. And I'm constantly just like screaming and fucking
thrashing around,
sweating, clawing, please.
Oh shit. Yeah. You're having some terrors there. That's crazy. Now, one thing that I've noticed, like I'll wake up to, go to the bathroom or something, and I'll be having a dream, and then I'll go back to sleep, and it's almost like a continuation of the previous dream, which is interesting to me. Like that my brain goes back to that story. Maybe I'm not fully awake when I'm getting up, and like I'm still kind of dreaming, but I think it's cool that there's a continuation, almost like me taking a piss is like a commercial break, and when I come back, the episode continues.
It's like you take the piss break into your dream world. But
and then
merges
a lot of times
life.
I'll wake up like fully like in the morning, and I'll be having a dream, and it's like, fuck, like I was having a good dream, and now I have to like go about my day and live in reality. Like, why can't I just finish this dream out?
Yeah. And one of the things that I've always wanted to do, but never had the dedication. I mean, there's a lot of things I want to do if I applied myself, but one of them is lucid dreaming, which is where you can get control of your dreams. You can dream about what you want. You can be aware that you're dreaming and then interact with your dream in a different way.
Yeah, we were looking into this. This sounds awesome. And I like to think that in the future, much like Chat GPT has come along and, like powered all these other like things, that some sort of AI device will be able to plant these seeds for the dreams, and they'll just grow when we go to sleep, and we can control you type in a prompt like I want to win the Super Bowl, and then I want to skate off on rocket boots that also have wheels. They're like rollerblades with rocket powered rollerblades. Yeah. And I want to go, and then I'm going to go over to Iraq, and I'm going to fight the Taliban, who isn't even the Taliban's in Afghanistan, but in your dream they're in Iraq. You're a war hero, you're a Super Bowl champion, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And you get to decide that.
Just like all AI, it's just a prompt. You just put in a prompt and make it happen. And
maybe you put on like some sort of headset that like sends like radio waves into your brain, and that's how you get the prompt into your brain, and then your brain takes it from there and gives you that dream.
Yeah, I mean, you'll definitely be able to do it with Neuralink. The Elon Musk has that it's like a chip, so they cut a square in your skull, right?
Yeah.
Take the bone, get rid of it. You don't need it anymore. No. They replace it with this little flat chip thing that sits flush in your skull. That's your skull now.
Okay.
And then it has little tendrils that are coming down.
And these are controlled directly by Musk. Like he's got like a, like a little joystick and like buttons, and he's supervising like your behavior.
He could take over. Most of them are automated, obviously.
What do you think Musk dreams about?
Yeah, right. That's interesting.
Should we ask ChatGPT what Elon Musk probably dreams about?
I feel like ChatGPT isn't going to answer that question.
He's going to give us some bullshit answer. Yeah,
be like, I can't take.
I think it's interesting that like there's these common dreams that almost everybody has at some point, and like some of them are like, you know, obvious, like we can all fly or whatever, but like some of them are like weirdly more specific. Like one of the most common dreams that multiple people happen all over the world is dreaming your teeth are falling out.
Yeah, and
like that's happened to me many times. And why would that be? It's just so odd.
Yeah, there was something on here about Carl Jung's collective unconscious, which is like this other realm or thing.
We're all linked into Carl Jung's consciousness, and at some point his teeth were ripped from his skull, and we're just experiencing that trauma
through us in the dream world.
That's interesting.
So that could be, you know, I don't know. That could be like, because if you think about DMT, right? So DMT, when people take it, they notoriously talk about going into this other realm through this tunnel filled with like geometrical shapes. And then you get there and there's these like beings that aren't like a physical thing, but the presence is there.
Yeah, and people say that it's like God or whatever, yeah.
But there's no words, and you just like feel the intention, and then they teach you all the secrets of the universe, and then you come back, but you don't remember it.
And you're just like a burnout.
Yeah.
You're like Joe Rogan or whatever.
So the thing is that people independently all throughout the world, when doing DMT, reported going to that same place. Like it's a place that we're tapping into, and not everybody doesn't have their own interpretation. Like if you take mushrooms, it's going to be different than someone else's mushroom interpretation.
Yeah, definitely.
But DMT, for whatever reason, brings everybody to the same place.
See, that's kind of boring to me. Like I don't necessarily want to go to this place. This place sounds kind of,
spoiler alert, right? Like you already know
like I've already been told what's going to happen. I'm prepared for it. Like I want, you know, to win the Super Bowl and then go fight in a war.
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. The tendrils. So you got the Neuralink, you got the tendrils, and they go into your brain, and they attach to certain like receptors or nodes in your brain or whatever, and they send an electrical pulse to stimulate that thing to fake brain activity so that you can do certain stuff. Like say if you're paralyzed or something, if you had a stroke and your left arm is numb, it can stimulate that part of your body so that way you can just kind of like, it'll just tell your arm to move.
And will your arm physically be able to move, or will you just be dreaming that you're...
No, your arm will move.
Okay.
But the whole point of it is that this Neuralink, I'm sure, can be used to manipulate your dreams.
So Elon Musk is going to get these chips in these paraplegic people's heads, and he's going to be able to like control them almost like an army of like drones, and have them do his bidding, whether it's, you know, take over Silicon Valley with violence, or manufacture Teslas, whatever his agenda is.
I mean, if you think about like how many like paraplegic, quadriplegic, you got old people,
all the plegics.
You got plegics, you got different types of crippled people, and if he can activate all, because the whole thing is they don't have enough strength to move their bodies, but if he can activate their bodies artificially with this current and just make it move anyway, he really can outnumber everyone, because think about how many people there are.
Yep, and they're going to be indebted to him, you know, because he made it so they can function again.
Do you think they're going to like be like zombie robotic, or do you think that they're gonna like be talking and aware the whole time, like, help me, I don't know what I'm doing, my link is going crazy, it's haywire.
I'm not sure. I think they're going to be so
Call
grateful.
my grandson Jonathan.
I also think that Musk is going to be able to, just put in his own prompts for what they're thinking and basically control their brainwaves
and just take them over.
And I think that's where we're headed with a lot of what he's been researching. Got the SpaceX and all that. I think it's all some sinister master plan to control the handicap.
It's going to be like a classic, like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, where like he takes over all the like adults in the town or all the parents or whatever.
Could be that,
and they're all just kind of like walking.
And Elon Musk is like Zordon. He's gonna at some point like just be like a floating head in like a big tank.
If anyone's gonna do that, it's gonna be him.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, put his consciousness into a robot before he dies.
I mean, we have no idea all the tech that Musk has. I mean, he's probably just rolling it out slowly, kind of phasing one thing here. First it's self-driving cars, and next it's controlling all the crippled people with a remote control.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. The future's now.
It is, really is.
So until then, because we can't afford these Neuralinks and they're not readily available. Plus, you don't want to be the first round for something like that.
No, you don't want to be the guinea pig with that.
You don't want the Neuralink 1.
Yeah, you're probably going to die.
Yeah. So until then, lucid dreaming is an option. A lot of people can train themselves to lucid dream, and we are going to help you guys learn how to lucid dream.
Yeah, we've got a great article courtesy of WikiHow, who is always showing us.
Show.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've put together a 3-step process for you to become aware in your dreams and control what's happening.
Mm-hmm. And the first one is to keep a dream journal.
Keep a dream journal. It's just a little book, and keep it close to your bed at night and write down your dreams immediately after you wake up, because that's one thing. Like, I will remember my dreams for maybe like a span of like 5 minutes after I wake up.
Yeah,
at least some like the general synopsis I'll remember for about 5 minutes, and then it's gone. Even if it was something really cool and memorable, or it felt like it was, like it still somehow disappears. So write down your dreams as soon as you wake up, and this is going to train you to remember more of your dreams, which is important for lucid dreaming. Now,
I've always heard this, and I remember my mom used to write a dream journal. She would have she had this whole like dream interpretation book that she would ask me what my dreams were, and then like look them all up and tell me what they meant and stuff. And none of them ever really. I feel like all those books kind of just took advantage of stupid people.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's probably, somebody who's going to try to, with their own agenda, going to try to link your dreaming about this to what they want you to think it is.
Yeah, it wasn't based in science at all.
I think it's for everybody, it's for you to interpret what your dreams mean, but you're going to want to start recording them. So write them down.
Now, I can attest to this because I recently had this like super vivid dream. I don't know if I talked about it on the show before, but I was playing a lot of Walking Dead in VR, and there's this whole nighttime element to it, and there's this whole like rundown school with a lot of big bathrooms with a bunch of stalls, and everything's dark and creepy. And I brought that aesthetic into my dream, had this horrible nightmare with night terrors and all, and then I woke up, and I didn't know if I was like still in this dream world or if I was in real life. And then once I realized that I was awake, I grabbed my phone and I like opened my notes, just because the dream was like, usually when you wake up, it's already kind of going away.
Yeah, it's fading the second you open your eyes.
But I had it all, like start to finish. And I pulled out my notes, and by the time I got the notes, I forgot the beginning. So it already was fading away. And then I wrote down everything else in the dream and put like as much detail as I could. And then put that away, didn't really think about it again until today when we were talking about doing this. I pull out the note, I read it, everything comes back. Which I had never experienced this because I never really journaled my dreams before.
What if all the dreams are still in your brain, like these full scenes, these full dreams?
They are.
You just have to unlock them. They're locked up like, behind a paywall.
Yeah.
And you have to feed your brain or pay your brain to unlock these dreams.
So when I read this, I not only remembered everything that I wrote vividly, but I remembered extra stuff that I didn't write down. I started filling in all the pieces, and it was wild. So I definitely want to start doing it more, dream journaling. And that's something that you guys can try, which I guess is the first step.
Yeah, that's step one. What's step number 2 here? Oh, you're going to want to use reality checks frequently, which this never would have occurred to me, and I'm not sure that it works, but WikiHow says it does. So I mean, we're going to take them for their word. They've always, they've never done wrong by us in the past.
No, they haven't. And I've heard this before, that a big part of lucid dreaming, it's all done when you're awake. And that is reminding yourself, like checking yourself. If you're asleep, if you're awake, constantly throughout the day. Right.
So yeah, every few hours, you're going to look at yourself and say, am I dreaming? And you can pinch your nose, close your mouth, do something, to test. Maybe like poke yourself with a knife and see if you bleed.
Try to stab yourself.
You can simply look at your hands and feet. They're often distorted in dreams. So when they look normal to you, if they both look, on the level, then you're not dreaming.
And then if you could ask someone what time it is, and they'll tell you the time, and then you could ask them again what time it is, and if they tell you anything different, or if the first time they say anything but a time, like if you're like, what time is it? And they go,
you can also read something, and see if the alphabet and words look right, because I guess in dreams, things are blurry and distorted.
Yeah.
So, you read a magazine, open up a magazine or a newspaper, you read an article. If everything looks, you can
whole
read
article?
it and no, just the first few words. Make sure that, that.
Just scan it. Make sure it looks good.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a look-see. And then last thing is attempt to push your index finger right through your palm, through the opposite palm, and really expect it to go through, and ask yourself if you're dreaming.
Before and after, it says.
Yes, this is important.
So you're supposed to say, am I dreaming? Poke your palm, and then say, am I dreaming? And apparently they're alleging that your finger will go through your hand.
Yeah, during a dream, your finger's going to go right through your hand.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. I've never had that dream, but we're going to, again, take them at their word. Number 3 is repeat. I will be aware that I'm dreaming each time you fall asleep. Now, I'm not exactly sure how you do that.
So this is a classic mantra, and a lot of things are in Buddhism and Eastern philosophy. It's all about just willing things and making things happen. And you're supposed to, as you're falling asleep, all the way until the moment that you slip into sleep, you are saying, I will be aware that I'm dreaming.
I will know I'm dreaming. Or a simpler phrase, until you drift out of consciousness.
Well, you should pick one and stick with it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't change it, because if you change it, that's going to be weird. Like when you count sheep, it's the same sheep.
Yeah, they call this mnemonic introduction, and that just means you're using memory aids, or in this case, a root phrase to, turn awareness of your dreams into automatic habit. So that's everything WikiHow. No, there's a 4. There's a number 4?
Yeah, we're still on method 1. There's 3 methods.
Oh, shit.
Learn to recognize your personal dream signs, which people will do like the red ball. Have you heard the red ball technique?
Nope.
So people will, I guess, look for a red ball, and that'll be the sign that they're dreaming.
If they see a red ball?
Like people will have like a visual cue that there's dream signs that show that they're dreaming. So lucid dreamers will implant a red ball into their dream.
Yeah.
So when they see this red ball bounce by, they're like, cool, I'm dreaming. This is a dream. I could do what I want.
Hey, look, it says it right there. You probably already know some of these. Common dream events include losing your teeth, which happens to me semi-regularly. At least it used to. Being chased by something large. That's not so much often. Being in public without clothes on. That happens to me frequently.
See, I don't think I've ever had a
You've never had that?
No.
See, and it's not like I don't start out nude. It's like I lose my entire wardrobe at some point, and I'm nude and exposed in public.
Whoa. Yeah, I've never had nudie dreams.
So they're great. They're great dreams.
That's always just been like a cliche thing. Like like you go and you give your speech in front of the class and you look down and you're, like, I think I just know that from movies. I don't want to. But then again, I only remember like a handful of dreams from my life because of all the weed smoking and me not journaling my dreams ever.
Yeah, like I'll be doing something completely unrelated to me being nude in my dream. You know, I'm trying to handle business in an unrelated matter, and then all of a sudden I'm nude, and like in my dream I'm realizing, well, fuck, I'm nude, and this, you know, I can't be nude in public, so it becomes like it presents itself in my dreams as, you know, a problem, just like it would be in real life.
And there's like Benny Hill music, and you're like running around.
You suddenly lose your clothes, and you're out in the, you know, the streets. Like
you take your hat off, you put it in front of your junk,
there's
and
decency laws, and there's a number of things that, you know, that could affect. So
yeah, true. Then it says that drift back to sleep when awakened from a dream. So this is your pee thing. You get up, you are awakened by this pee. You drift back to sleep, which I guess, yeah. And rejoin the dream. Yep,
and I'm not even really focusing, but it says if you try to focus on doing that when you're going back to sleep, you might have some luck.
So method 2 is using the wake and bake method.
No, it says wake back method. Wake back to bed method.
Wake back to bed method. Know when lucid dreams most commonly occur, which is REM stage.
Yeah, and this is all starting to seem like an awful lot of work. I'm not sure that like really what the payoff is to you know, learning about REM sleep. I mean, I know the band REM. I don't know so much about.
Wake up. So wait,
yeah.
How is a step to dream to wake up in the middle of the night?
This is telling you to set an alarm for 4 a.m. It's like no, I'm not doing all that.
No, eat a sandwich.
We're gonna skip some of these.
Eat a fucking sandwich.
Stay awake for a while, I guess.
It's telling you to wake up and eat a sandwich. Is this written by Big Sandwich?
I mean, they're really suggesting that you disrupt your sleep patterns, which I don't know if that's healthy for your body and beneficial for your day. So,
all right, we have additional techniques. You can meditate, prolong a lucid dream, and listen to binaural beats.
Okay, is that like lo-fi hip hop? Is what I'm thinking?
No, we've actually done that on the show before, which is a binaural beat is some sort of sound frequency that stimulates something in your brain to simulate an experience. Yes. So it can make you feel drunk. It can make you feel high. PCP. It can mess with like your visuals.
So, like, are you saying, like, you know, you listen to drill music right before you go to bed, you're going to dream about being right there on the O Block, having a gang war with the Latin Kings or whatever it is?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think the Latin Kings are involved in Chicago drill scene.
Computer, are the Latin Kings involved in Chicago drill music?
From Pitchfork.com. Spitting Spanish flows over sparse beats from Latin producers. The Z7-3 crew's take on drill is decidedly more lighthearted than their forebears in Chicago or their peers in Brooklyn.
The Latin Kings have a sense of humor about it.
They're from Brooklyn, though.
It's the same thing.
I don't know if that counts.
I guess it does.
Because they do drill music. They got to be from O Block.
But it's saying listen to some beats. Put some beats on.
Yeah, put some beats on.
Play video games. Okay. I can deal with that.
They're losing me here with the fucking... with the shit. There was one other thing that I had in here. Blind people be dreaming. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you can see things in your dreams that obviously you can't see because you're blind, even colors and what have you.
Shit that you'll never experience in the waking world, you can see in your dream.
Now, I wonder if there's ever going to be like a machine, and again, Elon Musk may already have this technology, but it's like a hyperbolic chamber where you put a blind person in. And since like a blind person's life is already, like real life is already kind of, I mean, probably shitty, like maybe it just keeps them in a dream state for the rest of, you know, like a lucid dream state for the rest of their days on Earth.
Yeah.
There's like a feeding tube involved and like a oxygen pumping into this chamber, and they can just, you know, have their dream life and never have to deal with the real world.
That should definitely be a thing. If you could pay or maybe just like donate your body to research and then opt into this where you're put in essentially the Matrix, how he was, put into this machine and had the thing and he was in the juice. Remember he like broke out of the juice?
Actually, I don't think I ever saw the Matrix.
All right.
I've avoided the Matrix my entire life.
Well, he gets taken out of the Matrix at one point. He takes the blue pill or whatever.
Yeah, I know blue pill, red pill. I know they got suits and they like do like crazy fighting, but I couldn't tell you the plot of it.
So he removes them from the Matrix, and he wakes up, and he's in this juice. He's in
like a goop,
like a goop. He's in a goop. He's in a goop, and he's in this like pod kind of thing that's like see-through. It's got the goop in it,
kind of like what we were saying. What Zordon's head is in.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Like a tank with okay.
Yeah, with the ooze and the goop. And he's in there. He's got all these hoses and tubes and a feeding tube and a catheter and like all this stuff hooked up. And it's all robotic and shit. And then he wakes up, rips the membrane of this thing out, gets up, there's sloshing ooze everywhere, you know. And why? I'm smoking weed, so I forget why I went on this Matrix tangent.
I couldn't tell you. And now I'm picturing the pink goop from Ghostbusters 2.
It's orange goop, though.
No, I'm just thinking like my brain is switched over to Ghostbusters 2, which is probably a better movie.
Yeah, it probably is. It definitely is.
Now, in some cultures, dreaming is seen as a form of communication with the spirit world, which I don't know if I buy into that, because most of my dreams are kind of like, you know, they're not really that deep. I'm not like having conversations with God or anything. You know, I'm mostly like doing random things with random people that I've met in like, you know, a hodgepodge of different locations that I've at one point visited, like just kind of combined into one.
Yeah.
Like, I do remember recently I dreamt, the setting was the Lewis store, which I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a old, it's in downtown Slow by the Mission. It's like an old timey, it was like the first store in San Luis Obispo, and they've preserved it somewhat as like a historical thing. The building's still there or whatever. But I was in the Lewis store. And it was like an antique shop, which the Lewis store is not an antique shop, but you know, in my dream it was, and it's just like kind of, it was almost like a antique shop mixed with like a swap meet mixed with the Lewis store. Very strange, but all places that I've combined, I've been to individually, and they're kind of combined into my dream. But I'm again no spirits.
No.
I haven't seen Jesus. I mean, I think maybe it's more of a DMT thing, the spirit world.
Yeah, I think so too. Now, one thing that I heard and thought was interesting, I don't know if it's true. Maybe some people can sound off out there. Some people allegedly dream in black and white. All dreams, black and white, no color in their dreams.
That would suck.
Which you imagine would make it very easy to do lucid dreaming. If you just look, if you say, is it black and white? You don't have to look for a red ball. You don't have to poke your hands.
Yeah, if you're seeing color, you're not dreaming.
Yeah.
But my dreams are, I feel like there's a vivid color palette.
Mm-hmm.
Vibrant color palette.
So I would really be interested to know if anybody out there dreams in black and white.
Yeah, sound off below and let us know. Do you remember your dreams? Do you dream in black and white? You know,
Can
basically
you lucid dream?
Chime in on all the things we've touched on and let us know your 2 cents.
Yeah.
And then also be sure to subscribe and like this episode.
Mm-hmm. Comment along the way and leave time codes next to your comment. So that way we know where you're replying to and what we said that.
Yeah, and this is also going to be,
comment.
you doing that is going to tell you that you're not dreaming and that you're in reality, which I mean,
that could be your prompt.
Are you sure that you're not dreaming right now? Did you dream this entire episode? Sound off below and let us know.
We love you guys.
Natural Habitat Recordings.